listening to The Eddie Connor Show with Rachel Angeline, only on LA Talk Radio.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to The Eddie Connor Show. I'm Eddie Connor, and we're here with Rachel Angeline, where we bring you sound bites for the soul. I'm your soul intuitive host,
Eddie Connor, and I'm Rachel Angeline, your friend.
And today we're speaking about how you can start harmonizing with your heart's desire.
We're sharing ways for you to expand your consciousness and create miracles simply by shifting your perception.
And Rachel and I have a few great segments we want to share for you right up front. We're going to be talking today about our question of the day. We have a bad news, good news segment, and one of my favorite is amazing acronyms that can change your life.
And I'm sharing my Lady on the Strip segment.
Toot toot. Hey, beep beep.
And we're giving you a high frequency living tips that you can create a rich, happy life, right, Eddie?
That's exactly right. So today we're focusing on giving you a few sound bites for the soul so that you can harmonize with your heart's desire.
And let's get started with the question of the day. Eddie, have you had your EMOCP today?
I have.
Do you want to tell us what it is?
EMOCP is an acronym for Energetic Multiple Orgasmic Combustion Points. You're welcome.
Oh, and why is it important to have many of those throughout the day?
The reason it's important is because it's one of the quickest, fastest, because men are quick and fast. It's one of the quickest, fastest ways for you to harmonize with your heart's desire, meaning when you are energetically creating combustion points multiple times inside of your heart, your mind, and your soul, you start to harmonize with the things you're putting your attention on.
Oh, so men can have a multiple orgasm too?
Yeah, yes, we can.
Okay, well, I'm loving all this talk. However, I am dying for all of our listeners to hear what the Lady on the Strip, the segment. I want to know what everyone thought what Heart's Desires means to them. Let's find out.
In our Lady on the Strip segment.
Woo!
Hello, I'm with my friend Kathleen, and we are asking her what her definition of harmonizing with your heart's desires. So, Kathleen, what do you think that means? Or what does that mean to you?
That means to, when I hear that, I think of wholeheartedly your whole self and what you think about yourself. So I think that means to just respect yourself, put yourself first. I think if you don't do that, then, and really take a look at your self-worth, and if you don't really know what that is, you're not really harmonizing your heart.
What do you think that means to you?
Harmonizing your heart's desires means that you get to do what you love. That's it. I don't know.
That's great. I'm with another friend, and I'm asking him the same question. So, Daniel, what do you think?
It's almost as if I'm rolling all of my dreams into one.
It means to me feeling good about achieving what my truly heart desires and hoping to fulfill that dream and then feeling complete.
It means just going with the flow, knowing what's right, what isn't right. Basically proceed and go, hey, is this something that I really want to do? Is it what I need to do? Is it something that advances me in life? Yeah, let's go for it. If it's something which is counterproductive, then it's like, do I really want to do that? I don't know. And just kind of adjust things. You'll make mistakes, and then you'll go back and go, maybe I shouldn't have done that. But as long as you're on the path of what it is that you want to do, you need to do, you are meant to do, I think that that's what it's all about.
Well, heart's desires is to create and then be able to give back to life. What else do you want to know?
Thank you.
That's pretty much it, right?
Okay, well, I'm still on the strip, and I'm asking my last person what he thinks harmonizing his heart's desires means to him.
Okay, so in Judaism, we have a concept called tikkun ha'olam. It's a piece of repairing the world. Literally your piece of repairing the world that only you can do. I can't do yours, you can't do mine. It's kind of like we all have an instrument to play, and our life's journey is about finding that instrument and playing that note in tune that is our life's purpose. And so for me, harmonizing is a literal term as well as an analogy, because when we all find what we're supposed to do in life, and we all find our instrument and we play our note in perfect tune, that sound of all of us is an orchestra that's the sound of heaven. And that's what I truly believe is harmonizing my soul I can't do it without helping other people harmonize theirs in the same way.
Thank you.
Does that help?
So I have a question for you, Eddie.
Okay.
What was your favorite soundbite?
The favorite soundbite was the last one, because he talked about how as he's harmonizing, doing his life's work, he's also simultaneously helping other people achieve theirs. It's a lot like what we like doing when we're here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't shut me up about metaphysical principles or enlightenment or paranormal things. We love intuition. We love talking about the soul and how we can use our non-physical attributes here to help other people. So my favorite soundbite was the gentleman that spoke last.
I think mine was the gentleman that spoke second to the last. I liked the creating and giving back to life. I really liked that one.
Me too. And, you know, a lot of people don't know that we are perpetually, eternally creating with every thought, every feeling, every frequency. We're perpetually, eternally praying with every thought, feeling, step, breath, and frequency. And we are always eternally creating what we do want or don't want by paying attention to what's around us. Sometimes most people pay attention to the things that don't make them happy.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're thinking, seeing, feeling, vibrating that, breathing that in, you're co-creating a bunch of negative stuff that doesn't feel good to you.
Yep, and I'm all about co-creating. I even co-create with my hairdresser.
You did?
I did.
You were throwing that down yesterday.
Yes, I was. It's a work in progress still. We won't talk about that right now. But I also wanted to say, what is the, okay, so you talked about in the opening bad news and good news. So what's the bad news and good news about people harmonizing with their heart's desires, Eddie?
Great question. The good news is we all are able to harmonize with what we really, really want. We get very cerebral in our consciousness about it. We'll overthink it with our brain. We'll take extra action steps with our bodies. Mm-hmm. And the bad news is we're often contradicting. We're often talking and looking at and living in resistance. And what is resistance? Negative belief systems, the idea that you can't have what you want, or that you have shame or guilt or some kind of negative energy about wanting what you want and why you want it. So the good news is you can easily harmonize with your heart's desire. The bad news is we innocently contradict that with butradictions and with asphalt disease.
And I was really lucky. Eddie did a workshop on Tuesday night, and I was able to go. And I would like to play a little soundbite for the soul for everybody, which talks about directly how you harmonize your heart's desires and how he sounds in a group. It's very exciting.
Well, it's a lot of fun because this is our new segment called High Frequency Living Principles.
Right.
And we pulled it from a Harmonizing Your Heart's Desire workshop. Yeah, Rachel was up front and I'm up front. We're just like boom, 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 back and forth. And this is some of what she pulled from the workshop. It's a lot of fun.
It was super fun. And Eddie was able to help a lot of people.
The thing my guide said up front is you literally have to know what it is that your heart desires before you start flowing energy to the thing you think you want. How many of us want more money? Good. And how about a different job or a different occupation where you get to express yourself and do your life purpose? Good. Why do you want those things? It's our calling. Mm-hmm. Happiness, somebody said happiness, it's our calling.
Brings more joy.
It brings more joy to both you, the channel, the catalyst, and to everybody that comes into your atmosphere. I just call that atmosphere. That's whenever it's an accidental self-sabotage atmosphere that you keep creating for yourself. Harmonizing with your heart's desire. So we're going to break it down first. Break it down. Harmonizing means what? Being in alignment with the physical thing you want. It means being in alignment with the essence of what you want to. Here's the four things. You have to know what your heart desires before you start sending energy. So here's four things. Don't hold on. Don't write this down. We're going to go over all of these consistently. Don't hold on to the physical idea of what you think you desire. So if you want money, if you're holding the vision of money in your hand, that's not what you actually want. You want the feeling money will bring. So what creates your reality? Your words or your feelings? Feelings. Your action or your feelings? Your action, your words, your whiny, sucky, bitchy, moany, working extra overtime for very little money, or your feelings? Yeah, it's always your feelings. So when you say, my heart desires more money, what does money bring? Freedom. That's the number one thing. What is your soul about? Freedom. It is freedom. You want to have the freedom to come and go as you please. We were taught that was not how it worked when we were just children, but that is truly one of the things we want on this planet. So don't hold on to the physical idea of what you want. You know we're wired to connect? I'm not. Most people are. The second thing is use your pure positive attributes to merge with the core essence of the physical thing you think you want. So that's what we're talking about. A new job would bring us an ability and an environment to connect with new people. Number 3, pay attention to your resistance. And number 4, rise above the resistance and get your physically focused BS out of the way. And by the way, BS is just an acronym for belief systems.
I like that one a lot better than the norm.
I do too. Oh, yeah, I do too. Hey.
Well, based on that, Eddie, could you please give the listeners a few high-frequency reminder?
Absolutely. We're going to give you 6 just little bullet points to hold on to. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that we spoke about in the Soundbite for the Soul that you recorded in the high-frequency living principles is people think they want the physical thing, in having the physical love or the physical money or the physical job, the new job they want, it will bring them the feeling of having abundance. So it's not the money you want, it's the feeling of freedom you think or believe the money will bring you. It's not the love relationship you want, it is the feeling you will feel in your heart and in your solar plexus by connecting with somebody in that wonderful, emotionally intimate way. And it's not a new career or life purpose or even a new job. It is you summoning your energy so that you are working around more like-minded beings as you start to evolve. And I know you've got 3, Rachel, too, that we're going to play with.
Yeah, so the word heaven means expanded consciousness.
That's one of the things I love, because I grew up Southern Baptist. I'm still recovering. It's okay. And when I would hear heaven on earth and heaven is, and I had a negative connotation to it, a limited belief system about it, until I did my homework and my studying and found out that heaven literally simply means an expanded awareness and expanded consciousness.
Wow. So is that how you harmonize with your heart's essence?
It is absolutely how you harmonize. It's one of the ways you harmonize. You can throw some EMOCPs in there. Okay.
And you know what I love?
What?
Miracle is thrown out there all the time, and everyone makes it sound like it's so impossible to do. What I love about how you talk about it is the word literally means a change in perception.
Oh, yeah.
And people just don't get that.
Yeah, no, they don't get it. They don't get it at all. As a matter of fact, they, like you just said, they think it's this gigantic thing that Jesus has to come down from non-physical, and then, the Titanic will rise from the bottom of the ocean, and then they're going to open their front door, and it ain't going to be a single white trailer anymore from 1962. Don't judge me, people. That they're going to live in a nice modular home that's got some skylights in it. Okay. And those are miracles too, but miracle meaning a change in perception. When you change your inner perception, how you feel, you will start attracting miracles more consistently. I'm just going to tell this tiny story. One of my good friends lost a pair of very expensive diamond earrings to the tune of about 20 grand.
Oh my goodness.
Lost one of her most important credit card, tore the house up, lost it at a dinner club, the earrings, and thought she lost the credit card too. Fast forward to, she tore the house up looking for it. They put a reward out for $5,000 at the dinner club in Pasadena. And she was obviously upset about it. So when she and I talked, and we just have fun talking like we banter back and forth, when we banter back and forth, we're usually having fun, so that means we feel good. And we laugh a lot, which means we're multiplying the combustion point over and over and over. We're talking about what we do want instead of what we don't want, how we do want to feel instead of how we don't want to feel. We talk about the moments where we feel good. And we keep layering and layering and layering the prayer kind of energy. And so whenever my friend and I were talking about it Sunday, she had a big kink in the hose. Between Sunday and Wednesday, she found both earrings. One was in the turtleneck beautiful sweater she was wearing, and the other one appeared in the carpet in her room out of nowhere. And then she was so happy about it because she had some energetic multiple orgasmic combustion point, whoop, whoop, energy. And she went to put the earrings in a safe place in a purse she had forgotten about. And when she opened the zip lining in the purse, she found the credit card.
Oh, my goodness.
And
we all do that.
So is that a miracle or is that not a miracle?
It's a change in perception of her actually finding it.
And she was using her expanded consciousness, her non-physical energy, her higher self and her soul, pulling that to her physical apparatus, marrying her heaven on earth as one. And what? Miss Thing was at the right place at the right time to find her diamond earrings, honey, and her platinum card. That's how we roll here at the Eddie Connor Show with Rachel Angeline. Okay.
Well, I have an interesting story talking about harmonizing with your soul or with other things that you want. I was going to a lady named Corinne Solo.
Yeah.
She's a great energy healer. She works with the chakras. We haven't gotten to that segment yet. And she was telling me about a story she had with a friend of hers who was out of harmony with her. And I was telling her a similar story. I had a friend that I was trying to harmonize with. And so she literally said, Rachel, this is what you do. You know, she has a very thick German accent, and I'm not going to try to do it right now.
It is it matches
it's
her.
Not thick. It's actually not thick. It's just
very
a hair.
Attractive.
Yes, and she's gorgeous.
Yes.
But she told me, she told me, you know, what you want to do is you say, you know, I choose to harmonize with such and such person. You can choose to harmonize with a place, a thing, and I choose this, you know, and I release it and under grace in a perfect way. And I'm telling you, it's kind of a bit like sending love. Like, you know, I swear that stuff works. But the thing that I liked about the difference between just sending love and sending harmonizing words and feelings is that you are actually talking about a vibration. Not that love isn't a vibration, and Eddie will probably explain that a little bit better than I would. But the vibration, you are actually harmonizing with them up here. So like you're talking to their higher self, their higher soul, trying to harmonize up here rather than coming from down here, from your heart.
Great. Yes. Yes. Hold on a second.
Thank you.
We need an applause meter for this reason. So what you're doing, what Corinne is sharing with you, first of all, here's a question. If you're sitting in Malibu and the sun is starting to set and you're watching the diamonds of light dancing off the surface of the ocean.
So poetic.
And the breeze is blowing very, very subtly and the temperature and the climate is perfect and you're watching a pod of dolphins frolicking and jumping in the distance as the sun's going down. What are you harmonizing with? The sunset or the energy that created it?
The energy.
The dolphins or the energy that created it?
The energy.
The ocean or the energy that created it?
The energy.
Is that energy just some piddly little Volkswagen or Ford Pinto energy, or is it unconditional, pure positive energy that creates world's energy?
B.
Yeah, it's love. And so when we are harmonizing with physical things that make us feel good, yes, that is unconditional love personified. Our friend Abraham Hicks would say you're tuned in, tapped in, and turned on to the stream of pure positive energy that creates worlds. So you weren't tuned in to your friend's body or their behavioral patterns or the thing they said or did that hurt your feelings. You were tuning in to the miraculous aspect of their expanded consciousness, which is their heaven on earth. And that's how we roll here, y'all.
Thank you, Eddie.
You're welcome. You know what I just realized?
That I have a lot of questions to ask?
Yes, that you have a lot of questions. You ask great questions. And that is, I realize I'm more nervous today than normal because I know we're live.
And I had forgotten until you just brought it up.
You're welcome. Hold on a second. So how can we harmonize with being live and being fine?
We laugh.
I'm
That's how
not
you harmonize.
scared. Yeah. So, but I just realized that. I was like, oh, yeah, whatever.
Okay, well, I'm going to get us back on track.
Okay,
and,
thank you.
And so, Eddie, I know you touched on this in the workshop, but in terms of connection, what types of connection do you need for harmonizing your heart's desires, and who are you connected to and why?
Okay, so let's break the whole question down because that's like 3 questions in one. See how smart she is? Okay. So the first part of the question is what types of connection do you need for harmonizing? What types of connections? The types of connection you need to harmonize with anything is a higher perception internally, a higher feeling. And here's examples of that. Appreciation is one of the quickest ways to harmonize and connect with another human. Mm-hmm. So when we talk about connection, like we have a really great connection here, when you'll notice that we connect higher and our energy gets bigger as we talk about points that we personally resonate with. And then some of those points will resonate out to you. So connecting through appreciation, connecting to love, not love hurts, but unconditional love, aesthetics. Music is a perfect form of connectability. Sunsets, sunrises. Your pet is a perfect thing to connect to and with, because when you're connected to your pet Stanley, when you're connected to the dolphins frolicking off the coast of Malibu, and you're watching the sun going down, your higher self inside of your body is connecting to the higher self that created the universe as a whole. So that's the best way for me to connect. Appreciation, gratitude, aesthetics, pets, nature's always a good one. Music, because, you know, I love me some Donna Summers, okay? Whoop, whoop, and some Janet Jackson. Yeah.
And I guess you kind of answered the who.
Yes.
And the why.
See how smart I am, y'all?
Yeah, so you kind of just answered all of the questions into one.
Thank you.
And you're welcome. And also, so he also talked about dreaming big. How can dreams, not necessarily the sleeping dreams, but the dreams of daydreaming and all of those, how can they fulfill and achieve your heart's desires?
That's a good question. I think that what I personally love about dreaming the most is, and we shared a thing in the meeting about a game that my friend David and I used to play.
Yes.
And it was called Top That. And one of the ways we would dream big is dreaming is about thinking outside of the physical box. It's thinking and speaking and dreaming and visualizing and meditating and drawing and sketching and acting as if, and daydreaming as if you already have the thing you want, even though you don't have physical proof of it. Thank you. They just reminded me of a dream I had last night. I woke up at 6. I left my phone in the bathroom. And so my phone alarm went off at 6 a.m. And as soon as my eyes just popped open, and my bathroom's a distance from my bedroom. So I went in and I turned it off. I reset it for 7. So between 6 o'clock and 7 a.m. this morning, for the last hour I was asleep. I was hanging out with Ellen DeGeneres.
Awesome.
I was hanging out doing games on one of her shows. It was a behind-the-scenes thing. We were all just hanging out and talking with each other. There were other people I've seen on TV and movies that I also know, personally. And we were all just connecting. And whenever I woke up at 7, when my phone went off again next to my nightstand, I literally asked myself the question, that was so cool. What was that all about? And I heard as clear as a bell, it's prepping you for the show with Rachel today, and it's you lining up components in your energy field that are high frequency, that are expanded consciousness, that you think of as miraculous, and that I am so now versed in daydreaming, dreaming bigger than what I can see with my eyes and ears, that it's starting to manifest solidly in my nighttime dreams, which is a stronger reality than your daytime experience, by the way. And I'm getting practice for whenever I am across from her, when I am hanging out in those venues doing the kind of work that we do here. So the Reader's Digest condensed version soundbite would be this. The reason and the way that dreams are so important is it causes you to think beyond what you can see and hear on the earth plane and summon with your expanded consciousness your dreams, goals, and aspirations, and harmonizing with them accordingly. What's the next question, Rachel? I'm ready. Pop, pop.
Okay, Eddie, can you describe how you felt when you spoke to the young woman who was on her way to get food stamps and then received a call that she booked a lead role in a major feature film?
And what Rachel's referring to is the workshop.
Yes, and it was an actress.
And she's beautiful.
Gorgeous.
Gorgeous, inside and outside. And so she's doing the work. This lovely lady is doing the work. She's doing the work. She's doing the work. And what do we mean by doing the work? She's out there hitting the pavement. She's going to her auditions. That's not what we're talking about. That's the physical reality. The physical action you take creates how much of your reality?
10%?
Less than 1%. 1%. Less than 1%.
I got the a 1 in the 10.
Right. Isn't that nuts? Well, if you just flip it, 0.1%.
Yes.
And so your action, your words, all of that creates less than 1%. Your feelings create the other 99.99.9%. And in this particular case, she had gotten to a point where she literally surrendered. Now, when you surrender to something, does that feel comfortable or not comfortable?
I want to say not comfortable.
It's comfortable, meaning...
No, I said not comfortable.
Yeah, it's comfortable. Yeah, meaning when you finally surrender to something, you have no resistance. When you're when you're struggling to surrender, you haven't surrendered. When you're fighting it and weighing it all out in your mind, and you're crossing all of your T's and dotting all of your I's, and you're beating the pavement, and you're trying to find a way to surrender, or better yet, find a way to feel good about the thing that you want that you don't have, you're not surrendering. You've got a kink in the hose, and that's the toughest but predicted asphalt disease resistance on the planet. So it's a great metaphor, and it was a miracle, quite frankly, because her surrender helped her create a different perception. So there was no kink in the hose. The energy was flowing, and that letting go of resistance, that surrender was just enough of a portal to open in her make-believe world, in her make-believe feelings, in her make-believe non-physical energy, to where she landed a major motion picture. And we all are right there. What's the flip side of wealth? Poverty. What's the flip side of love? Hate. What's the flip side of a job you love, a job you don't like? So there's a flip side to everything. Everything has a dark side to it. In this town, LA's, so I'm going to say some declarative statements that I used to really believe. LA is a hard town to live in. True or false?
False.
Okay.
It's true, but
it's
you have
true
to harmonize
and it's
with
false,
it.
right?
Yeah.
So
it's a trick question.
Right. So it is. It is a trick question. So have you had moments in LA as an actress where this town was wonderful?
Yes.
Where this town was miraculous?
Yes.
Where this town was helping you make your dreams come true?
Yes.
Is this part of your dreams coming true right here?
Yes.
Okay. Have you had moments in this town where you just wanted to run over somebody and beat them with a stick? Yes. I had that moment on the way over here. By Methuselah, put another piece of coal in your car, child, because he was going slow. So every single subject is two subjects, the lack of it and the having of it. The lack of it and the having of it. The miracle in the change in perception is when you're doing anything you want to do, whether it's being an actor, whether it's running a bank, whether it's falling in love with somebody, our attention more often than not goes to, I don't see it, therefore I don't have it. I don't hear my mate, therefore I don't have a mate. And what everything we're talking about is using your expanded consciousness to hold an invisible energy field around you so that you open the portal and continue to attract what you do want instead of what you don't want. So this town is exactly what you make it. Your relationship with yourself, even with your hand. Here's what, Valentine's is coming up. I was going to bring a picture in of my husband. It was just a picture of Ben and Jerry. And then I was going to put a mustache right here on my hand.
Okay, well, that leads me to my last question. Who do you like better, Ben or Jerry?
I like them both because it's my favorite menage a trois. What's your favorite, Ben and Jerry? Or Haagen-Dazs?
Oh, it's the chocolate peanut butter, hands down.
They have a chocolate peanut butter?
Haagen-Dazs only.
Oh, see, I'm still back at Ben and Jerry, sorry.
Yeah, no, I moved on.
Okay, here's something to think about. Do you know they make Magnum ice cream?
Yes.
Do you know they have Magnum ice cream in pints now?
Oh, no, I did not know
Yes,
that.
they do. Crunchy.
They also have them on a stick. Let's not forget that, Eddie.
It's so good. And it comes in a gold wrapper, much like the condoms. What's that about? It's a change in perception.
I have so many things we could talk about. Okay, so moving on.
You're welcome.
Well, Valentine's is coming up, so, you know. Okay, so why is meditating so... Sorry, you're just killing me right now. Why is meditating so important to harmonizing with your heart's desires? I mean, it is, I know, a little similar to the dreaming aspect, but I feel like meditation is a different form.
Great question, because Abraham Hicks would say that non-physical beings teach humans how to meditate, because when you meditate, you stop resistance. Resistance is the only thing that keeps us from what we want. Resistance is the only thing that stops and blocks our heart's desire. And everybody's resistance is different. So whether you're doing Qigong, which is a form of active meditation, some people love yoga because it keeps the conscious mind engaged in what they're supposed to be doing while they're summoning non-physical life force energy to them and through them. Meditation, which I am not good at, is simply to stop resistance, to think no thoughts, because when you're thinking no thoughts, you stop your resistance thought, right? And when you're thinking thoughts, most times, most people can't think a thought or talk about a subject for longer than 17 seconds without contradicting it with some serious ascis, falsis diseases.
So can you listen to two conversations at once? I certainly can. And I don't think so.
You mean the one in your head and the one out loud?
No, I'm talking about in a room.
No, I can't.
I can.
But it's
one of my gifts.
I catch snippets of each one of them, and I go back and forth like a psychic ping pong. What I can hear is the person in front of me speaking about what they say they want or the work they say they did, and I can feel from them whether they did it or didn't do the work. So whenever somebody's like, I feel good, rainbows and sunshine and unicorns are flying out of my asphalt disease all day. And then when you feel them, because feelings create your realities, and feeling is a heart language, you can feel them contradicting what their words are saying. You can feel the kink in the hose. And you can tell they ain't no rainbows, unicorns, and stuff flying out to asphalt disease. It's what you would expect to fly out of it.
Oh my goodness. So so back to the workshop, I was noticing that a lot of people were focused on money.
Oh, yeah.
And I was wondering if you could talk a little bit more about harmonizing your heart's desires with relationships and loves and how that helps in just daily life.
That's a good question. So we're not going to talk about money?
Negative.
Okay. You know what we should do our next show on for real?
Money.
Yeah, get your money freak on. Freak being frequency. So how can we harmonize with, let's see, you just teased the audience. They wanted to hear about how to attract money. You went negative.
Come on, Valentine's. We have to talk about the heart.
Do we?
Yes.
The heart of money?
Hey, we can talk about, the love for pets, love for Stanley.
True.
Stanley's like the love of my life here.
Stanley is the love of her life. When she talks when she talks about Stanley and Rob and anything that makes her happy, she lights up like a million Christmas trees.
I know. I wish I could have one.
So a Christmas tree?
Yeah, I haven't had one in years.
Oh, bless your heart. We're gonna fix that
next year.
So how you harmonize with love, how you harmonize with things that you do love is similar to what we talked about on an earlier show, the TAGS technique, which is Thanksgiving, appreciation, and gratitude. Always send soul signals. We also spoke a little bit about avalanching, which is another new desire. You keep capping your former desire with a newer desire and a newer desire and a newer desire. And a little bit of the energetic multiple orgasmic combustion point. So here's the thing. Here's the everyday human thought pattern. When someone wants love, they usually feel, if someone wants to be in a loving relationship, sneeze guard. If someone wants to be in a loving relationship and they don't have a relationship, how do they normally feel? Good or bad?
Bad.
Lonely or connected?
Lonely.
Summoning energy or having a threesome with Ben and Jerry on the couch watching TMZ?
Watching TMZ.
Yeah. She didn't even go to the couch with him with her ice cream child. Well, she don't need to. She in love times 2 multiplied. Okay. So most people, if they don't see the love that they want, or here's an invisibut. This is serious. Invisibuts are when someone sees in front of them with their eyes and ears exactly what they want to have. Mm-hmm. If when I see you and Rob hanging out, I'm like, that's got my name on it. What most people do when they see 2 sexy petite flower princess give a goddess lovers connected to each other and holding hands and kissy, 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 most people get really mad, really jealous, really envious, upset, sad, disconnected from source, and they become buttasaurus where love is concerned. Mm-hmm. What is that? They'll smile, they'll be polite, they'll be cordial externally with their physical body. What they have is invisibuts. Mm-hmm. I really have the desire for the love, but I feel so jealous that I don't have it myself. So you're holding a stick that's got what you do want and don't want on it at the exact same time. So you want to be aware of the resistance. We talked about this in the workshop. You have to make friends with your resistance. You have to make friends with your internal jealousy, with your sadness, with the things that don't feel good to you. When you become consciously aware that you have invisibuts or asphalt disease or the big butt syndrome, do we need to keep going on? We have a love butt theme going here. When you become conscious of what your negative belief systems are, who is in control, you or the negative belief that was quietly running you your whole life?
The negative thing that was running your whole life.
Yeah.
Wow. And it's like a pattern that just keeps playing out in your head and in your life. And if you don't get to be aware of that, then it will continue to play.
And it runs you. It runs you until you become conscious of it. Mm-hmm. When you become conscious of it, when you become conscious of the negative pattern that has been keeping you single, the negative pattern that has been keeping you from connecting with people that you love and care about, the negative pattern that keeps you just making enough money at your job, the negative pattern that keeps Prius pulling in front of you on the freeway when you could be going 70 miles an hour and they doing 42.3 miles an hour. And have you ever noticed that a lot of Prii on the road have dents and scratches all over them? Do you know why that is? Because people can't drive. So that's my Valentine's love butt. So whatever we focus on, I'm going to see 1 million Prii on our way up to the mountain today.
Yes, that is absolutely true. And I just want to shout out that Nerd Brigade, the web series that Daniel Descent and I did. He's driving a Prius. And he drives it pretty well. And there were no scratches, no dings, just a sign on the car.
Was it rented?
No.
I'm sorry. Let me see if I can harmonize with your friend now that I know he drives a Prii.
No, they traded it in for a RAV4.
Okay. Hey. We can be friends again, Danny. Isn't that crazy? So we have negative, invisible belief systems that run us. When we find out what they are, you cannot bully them. Mm-hmm. You cannot pick on them. You can't feel sorry for yourself. You can for a minute. And then flip it back to what feels good, what you do want, how you do want to feel. Here's another thing. Newsflash. Ding, 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 ding. When the universe sets you up and puts people in your life in front of you that are living the life you want yourself, you need to see that as a miracle. If you're single, and you want to be in a relationship and you're standing in line at the movie theater and there's 100 loving couples there and you're just there with your pocket of Junior Mints, a big bucket of popcorn, and a diet soda, I see you. You look around. You keep track of the people that have the attributes that you want, the energy that you want. You're surrounded by all of that love. Does that mean the universe is playing a joke on you?
No.
It means that you're at the right place at the right time to get more clear about how you want to feel. And like our beautiful actress at the workshop, you surrender to the fact that you created a miracle of 100 couples around you, and you say, I like this makes me feel good, I like how gentle he is, how thoughtful she is, I like how he opened the door for her.
Well, and again, miracle, all it means is a change in perception. It's super simple.
Yeah, and you almost can't have that change in perception until you use your expanded consciousness or your heaven on earth attributes, your soul attributes.
Agreed.
That's why we call it the sound bites for the
soul.
Hey, what?
So we're going to start doing the the recap.
Do you know what the recap is? Okay. What?
I actually got to hear Rihanna on the way over here, so I was really excited.
I like that Riri song that she does where she sampled some of Soft Cell's Tainted Love into the mix. It's a really good dance song.
I'll have to check that one out.
Check it out. So it's time for our
recap. Yeah, we'll have to work on that soundbite. So the question of the day is, what blocks us from expressing our heart's desires?
It is always, without exception, our resistance. And to identify resistance one more time, it could be invisibuts, it can be insecurity, it could be jealousy or envy. Resistance can be an old belief system that you're aware of that you still haven't changed. Mm-hmm. It's when you are choosing to feel bad about something, when you could actually just as easily choose to feel good about it. And resistance is anything that keeps you from feeling happy, quite frankly, in every area of your life. It is simple. See, all right, this is our recap, and that's what we love about doing this. We as humans make the universe so complicated. Mm-hmm. We try to all kinds of physics and calculus and algebra in our little limited thinking brains to figure out how I get what I want, how do I get what I want, how do I get what I want, how do I get. You don't need to do any of that. We promise these sound bites are so simple. Mm-hmm. Resistance is anything that keeps you from feeling good. And you're the one who is channeling the resistance, and you're the one who will have to learn to let it go.
Exactly. And in our bad news, good news segment, you explained what resistance is all about.
Yeah, resistance is the thing that keeps us from our good, and you want to learn to pay attention to it so that when you do notice that you have it, you acknowledge it, you become in control of it, so that invisible, non-physical resistance is not driving your life force energy. And the good news is it takes just a few seconds to feel good, and every single time you do feel good, use that as a point of focus to lock onto at least 5 or 10 other things around you that make you feel good too, so that you think it for longer than 17 seconds.
Well, and also when you focus on the high-fi things and being in the flow.
Oh, I love that. I love the high frequency.
Yeah, so for high-frequency thoughts keep you in the flow. I notice every time I'm moment to moment, it can never go wrong. Even when I'm on the treadmill and I'm counting down, yeah, I'm counting down, and sometimes I get distracted. I try to read a lot on the treadmill, but when I can't read, sometimes I count. So count, like I'll literally count to 100 and start over. I'm like, oh, is it 5 minutes yet?
Well, I wish, see, this has got my name on it. There's a part of me a long time ago that would be like, I ain't doing a treadmill. That's like running on a Prii. And obviously I've got the body of a stealthy athlete, honey. So I have to wear my sports bra and duct tape these middies down. But what I'm doing while I'm listening to her is harmonizing with her essence. Not because she's got a kicking body, but because when she's on that treadmill, she gets so many great ideas. She flows so much energy. She's so connected to source. She's so tuned in, tapped in, turned on. And when she comes off of it, she feels that energy for a good hour to half a day.
That's correct.
Oh, I love it.
And I would also like to remind us what our amazing acronym is.
It is EMOCP, which is energetic multiple orgasmic combustion point energy.
And why is it important to have a few of them a day?
Because you keep looking at what you do want, how you do want to feel. You do it deliberately, you do it on purpose, you do it intentionally, and you do it for the joy of it.
I love that.
That's Joy. I'm from the South. Joey sounds like Joey. One of those things that live in a marsupial patch with a kangaroo mama.
Oh, and I would like to ask you again. I know you talked about your favorite soundbite from Lady on the Strip, but what did you learn? What was the big thing that you learned from the Lady on the Strip segment?
First of all, I love the men.
Yeah, the men. I got a lot of men this time.
Yeah.
That was very fortunate.
And I love their speaking from their heart. I love it when they spoke from their soul. It's such an intelligent, emotionally connected way where they were speaking about harmonizing their joy with another person's joy, their purpose with another person's purpose. When they live their best life, they're helping other people do the same thing.
I agree. And the very last part of what we wanted to talk about is I really feel like during our recap, it's really important to tell the listeners again what a few of our high frequency principles are.
When people come to get readings, they talk about these three subjects: love, money, and career. And the first three in the high frequency reminders is you don't want the money that you think you want. Mm-hmm. What you want is the essence, the feeling, the frequency, the vibration of what you think the money will bring. You do not want a lover or a twin flame soul relationship as much as you want to feel the way you will feel when you have it. And with career and life purpose or even a new job, you don't really want the new job. You're wanting to stimulate your outside self and your inside self so that you're in a new place with new people that are helping you stay connected to your source energy.
And the word heaven means expanded consciousness.
That's one of my favorite words on this planet, heaven. I love it.
Mine's ice cream.
Hi. Ice cream.
And when you're heaven on earth, that means to harmonize with your heart's essence, correct?
It is. And your heart being a universal heart, meaning when these physical meat suits die on this planet and you go back up into non-physical, I'm telling you right now, your heart will go with it. Your thoughts will go with it. Your emotions and your feelings and your frequencies will go with your heart's soul and your higher self, not this fluffiness.
Well, I think that is a wonderful way to end the show.
I do too. We're going to make it fun. By the way, we want to give, last week we were able to give our shout out to our buddy Daryl.
Oh, yes.
And so Daryl.
Thank you again.
I know. We didn't bring it with us. We have it back at the office, the things we wanted to share with the audience. The funny thing about Daryl was up in the woods in his cabin looking all cute and stuff, just cleaning in the kitchen. He had our show playing in the background, and then he heard his name, and he was like, And then we said it again. He was like, And then we sent him a cute little care package. And you're welcome. And thank you for the good stuff that you sent us. Also, a couple of quick announcements on social media. You can find me on Facebook at Eddie Connor Soul Intuitive. On Instagram, it's Eddie Connor Soul. That's CONNER. On Twitter, I guess I'm a soul intuitive on Twitter and didn't even know it. And you can find me online at eddieconnor.com to find out about classes, workshops, upcoming tours to Peru, the Galapagos, and Patagonia, and a lot of other fun stuff.
And you can find me on the Nerd Brigade 1, the Facebook, and my website is rachelangeline.com. And we just want to say we're going to see you next Friday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time right here on LA Talk Radio.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. I'm your soul intuitive host, Eddie Connor.
And I'm your friend, Rachel Angeline.
And until we see each other again next week, remember to keep your thoughts, your feelings, and your frequencies high, fast, and pure so that you can unlock the universe within. Thanks so much. Bye, y'all.
You are listening to The Eddie Connor Show with Rachel Angeline, only on LA Talk Radio.